What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about one of our other recruits that we've received during the trade period. Now, firstly, before I get into the next recruit that we've got, I just wanted to say apologies for not having all of these out sooner. It's been a hectic last week or so, and obviously we got Radaglia and Soldo videos out, so make sure you go check those out and my thoughts on those there. But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that have been happening over the weekend. Obviously, the Glass Table episode is out as well, so make sure you go check that out and subscribe to if you're wanting more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way through the remainder of the off season and into obviously 2024 as well. But regardless, let's get straight into it. Let's talk about Jordon Sweet, who we received from the Western Bulldogs. We sent off pick 50, which was part of the Soldo trade, and it was a chain effect that happened on the Wednesday of the trade period. And obviously Jordon Sweet grew up as a Port Adelaide fan. He was part of the North Adelaide Roosters premiership with Connor Rosie and a few others as well. So there's a lot of history there, and links with Port Adelaide and such. Obviously under Josh Carr as well at that stage with the premiership there. So a lot of wholesomeness. That's what I'm looking for. Wholesomeness in his return to Port Adelaide. And it's going to be great fun to see what he can develop. Wasn't getting a lot of opportunity at the Western Bulldogs, considering Tim English was there. Rory Lobb also had, and I think Aaron Norton chips in the ruck as well. So trying to find his chances at AFL a little bit few and far between. And coming to a club like Port Adelaide, coming home to South Australia, and obviously with our ruck stocks at the moment being pretty low or not as prominent, I think Jordon Sweet can have a great opportunity, and that's one of the main things why he can make an impact at Port Adelaide. What is he going to bring? He's got a presence. He's got great work ethic. He's bigger built, can move around the ground quite well, can play up forward, which is not as prominent in what his stats would be. He's only played the 10 games and kicked 2 goals in his AFL career, but he's 25 years old. He's got a lot to learn in his craft. He's hitting that peak time as a ruckman, which is really important, and alongside Soldo, who's a couple of years older than him, they can form quite a duo. And whether or not Soldo starts as the number 1 ruck or Sweet has a great pre-season and finds himself ahead of the game, I think the chemistry those two could definitely make a bigger impact. And with the likes of Charlie Dixon, Jeremy Finlayson, who can run through the rucks, and also the development of Dante Visentini, it's brought out an opportunity for us to say, hey, we've got these stocks now. We've got opportunities for these 3 ruckmen can fight for places. They all have capabilities to be number 1 ruck at Port Adelaide. Dante's obviously a bit young, but Jordon Sweet, we know he's been in the system. He's got great chemistry with a couple of the players, as I said, and obviously Josh Carr. So they know what they're getting, and I think that's what's going to be really helpful for him, and an opportunity there to really cement a spot in the 23 and see if he can become number 1 ruck. I think what Port Adelaide overall have been looking for in a ruckman is tap work and really trying to get access to the ball for their midfielders. And our midfielders are very much reliant on getting first access to the footy. If we're trailing or putting on defensive acts in the midfield, it's not our strong suit. And I think that's come with a change this year of taking Ollie Wines and Boak out of the mixture and putting in more of an attacking midfielder with Rosie and Butters. They're more of their get and go ordeal, whereas Wines will be fighting with that contested ball and the tackling and the pressure, and Willem Drew's the same. He's a tackling freak, and I think with Jordon Sweet, they're allowing that first access, and I think the same is with Soldo as well. So whether Port Adelaide are developing a plan in place to work around some of our midfield deficiencies by having those ruckmen that exemplify exactly what we're looking for and how we're going to play the footy in the middle. Soldo, as I said, moves around really well. We've seen the highlights and I've done the video on that. But with Sweet, there's a lot of unknown territory for him. And in some cases, recruits like this can develop into a genuine number 1 ruckman, develop into a genuine force in the middle, and getting a second opportunity at a club that you've grown up supporting, grown up in South Australia, you're going to feel at home. You're going to be surrounded by familiar territory and not in an unknown place, like developing yourself at the Western Bulldogs. He's got a lot of upside. And coming from the rookie draft and being 206 centimeters and can move really well, that's going to be a real big force for him. And I think for Jordon Sweet, it's going to end up pretty sweet for Port Adelaide. I don't mean to make a pun, but I think that's going to come out every so often, especially if he's going good form. There's not a lot of known facts about Jordon Sweet. I think overall we're going to have to find out a lot about him, and what he can bring for Port Adelaide is a genuine force in the ruck. Going to be a great depth player. In hindsight, it's obviously a great pick, and also with being depth, and you're probably predicting at the moment Soldo be number 1 and Jordon Sweet number 2. So he's going to be great depth to start with, but I think he's got a lot more than that, and with an opportunity at stake, and if there's injuries or anything, Sweet's going to take his chances to be that number 1 ruck option, and I don't think he'll let us down. I think he's a better replacement for someone like Sam Hayes. He's very similar in the way he moves in terms of Scott Lysette in peak form, and being that little bit younger, 25 years old, he's going to be more than capable. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what Jordon Sweet can bring to Port Adelaide. Let me know your thoughts, Port fans, in the comments below. And if you're a Doggies fan watching this as well, let us know your thoughts on Jordon Sweet and leaving the Dogs to come to Port Adelaide. That's it, Port fans. That is my rundown on Jordon Sweet, what he can bring for Port Adelaide. I'm looking forward to seeing what all of these recruits can do. Make sure you look out for the Brandon Zerk-Thatcher video to come later in the week to see what he can bring at Port Adelaide. But nonetheless, can't wait to see what Sweet can do. It's a sweet deal for Port, and I'm looking forward to all of his work and all our recruits as well to see what they can bring in 2024. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way across 2024 and into this off-season as well. Plenty more to come. So subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, come ThePear.